What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the show. Today, per usual, per a lot of the episodes, per one of the main topics on the channel, we're going to talk about some art. We're going to talk about KAWS. We got a new piece to discuss, as well as just a general discussion and a general video topic of why you should invest in art and why you should collect art. There are a few reasons, both economical and just personally, why I believe in collecting art and why I think it's beneficial. So in this video, we're going to get into some of those points. And before we get started, if you wouldn't mind, please smash that subscribe button, smash that like button. It really does help grow the channel. I greatly appreciate it. And with that, let's get into the episode. So first, obviously, you guys are seeing this is a KAWS companion from 2016, and then this is a KAWS piece called Take that there's already another episode on. So actually, I'll throw that link to this episode if you guys are interested, right up here in the video. But before we get started kind of talking about this companion, I really just wanted to talk about some art in general, and again, why I think it's important to collect art, why people do collect art, why I think it's valuable. And really, there's, I guess, two different lanes that I guess I would start this conversation with. One is, obviously, art has the potential to accrue in value just like any other investment, real estate, stocks, etc. When you purchase a piece of original artwork, depending on the, I guess, horizon and career and path of that artist, you definitely have a chance to see that artwork accrue in value over time. And then the other main reason to collect art is because it's just generally good for your brain. It's just good for your body. It makes people happy. It releases the happy chemicals, the dopamine and all of that stuff in your brain when you look at a piece that you love. So let's get into some different articles and some different research that I've done to just kind of show you guys really just some info about the art market and maybe give somebody out there some inspiration to start collecting art. So obviously when it comes to collecting art in specific, and really just anything, you really always want to make sure that you're buying something authentic. You don't want to buy a piece of art thinking that it's, a real piece of art by an artist that you love and then find out that it's a fake print or something like that. So you really always want to do your due diligence, do your research, make sure you're buying something authentic. And then you also want to do some research into the condition of the piece. Are you buying it brand new during a release at a gallery? Are you buying it from another collector? Make sure that the piece is really in good shape and is kind of represented properly in that sale and in that description. And also the type of art that you collect, the artist that you collect, really all of it combined, I guess, form the general basis for, an art collection, for why someone would want to buy art and the pieces that they would want to buy, etc. So similar to investments like real estate and some stocks, well, especially real estate, art is not liquid. So I can't immediately go to the bank and get cash, because I have this KAWS piece, for example. Other forms of investment are more liquid. Crypto is much more liquid, etc., where you can access the funds right away, but art is a separate way to store value in pieces. So a lot of people love to buy art because it's a way to store value and invest money, but also get that other side, that other part two that I talked about earlier in the video, where you get to see a piece that you purchased and then you get to enjoy it and you get to see it in your house and it makes you happy, and you get that kind of 1-2 of being able to put your money somewhere that's kind of parked in an investment that's pretty safe, that's actually a physical thing that you can see and you can touch, and then you can also enjoy it as a piece of artwork, knowing that it's something that connects to you and connects to what you enjoy collecting and viewing and stuff like that. So there's really a big positive into collecting art. And next we'll go into why some of the most wealthy Americans collect art and why the market's gotten so big. Some of KAWS' work, one of KAWS' most expensive pieces sold a couple years ago for, I believe, I'll have to look up the article right here in a second, but 14.7 or 14.9 million. And obviously the point of collecting art isn't to just buy it and then sell it eventually for a profit. The point is to buy it and own it and love it, and maybe in the future, if it accrues in value, that's obviously awesome, but the point is to really buy it, invest in a piece because you love it, and then maybe if you decide to sell it in the future, you could see those potential big gains. So let's get into some other aspects of KAWS, and let's keep the episode rolling. So I'm going to put this little screenshot right here in the video, but according to Forbes, the art market goes into overdrive as the wealthy up their spending by 42% on art. So that's just a little crazy statistic in its own right. This was published on September 9th of 2021, so it's a very new, relevant article. And just an example of where and why and how people are moving their money and putting money into art, and just an example of how it might not be such a bad idea to, invest in some art, and maybe you'll see some really big gains. Alright guys, so this is a KAWS companion. If you guys have seen the channel, you guys know I have a couple of them, a couple of KAWS related pieces. Eventually I would love, once I get there, I'd love to maybe buy one of his original paintings or something like that, or at least a couple prints, stuff like that. I love his work. So these are some of his, I guess, classic characters and classic figurines and companions. They each have different names. But right here, I'm looking at Art News, and these are, we're going to go over the 10 most expensive KAWS work ever sold at auction, and I'm just going to kind of give you guys a little quick rundown. If if you guys watched that other episode about KAWS, I kind of gave a little background about him already. There's also a couple really awesome YouTube documentaries about KAWS if you just want to learn kind of more about his history. He really started as a graffiti artist in New York in the 80s, and he would use the keys to like bus stop advertisements, and would put his characters all inside the advertisements and kind of just graffiti up some public advertisements and stuff like that, and kind of started to make his way doing some really fun stuff like that. So his work's always been really, really cool. He's been one of my favorite artists. He also does a lot of stuff that plays on like the Simpsons theme and just different fun characters from the 90s, and his work's just really sick, so hopefully you've heard of it. So in 2000, let's get into some of these auction prices, and I'm just going to read a couple real quick, and I'll throw some up on the screen for you guys to see. In 2003, his Kimson piece sold for $2.2 million, and then as we scroll down, 2008, $2.6 million, 2009, $2.7 million, 2014, $3 million, 2002, $3.9 million, 2012, $6 million, 2004, $7.4 million, and the number one is $14.8 million that's sold at Sotheby's in Hong Kong. It's a Kimson's piece, and Sotheby's, if you guys don't know, is also like probably the biggest, oldest classic auction house for art in the world, and they sold the piece at a Hong Kong auction house for $14.8 million. I don't know what the original cost of the piece was, but I have a feeling that the original collector probably came up on a pretty sizable gain on that investment, and then he also had the chance to enjoy that painting for X number of years that it was in his house. So there's where I guess you really see, in my mind, the win-win of collecting art. You get to park your money somewhere that, you know, is relatively safe. Obviously, with everything there's risk. You know, the markets can crash, art markets can crash, stock markets can crash, etc. But in general, if you buy a piece from an artist that you really, really love and you hold on to it, there's a really good chance that you'll see some positive ROI on that, and then you also get to enjoy the piece. So next, let's get into a couple more details, and then we'll get into this companion. So obviously, besides the potential monetary gains that someone can, you know, have from buying a piece of art at a certain time and then having the artist get more popular and then selling it at a later date and seeing that appreciation and value, the other really big benefit that we're going to go over in this video is why art just makes you happy. So I'm looking at a little study right now on my computer. It's research from the University College in London, and they conducted a study with people showing them pieces of art and scanning their brains. And what they showed was that the scans of viewing art triggered a really big surge in dopamine, which makes people happy. So it showed in the brain scan that just looking at art that people liked actually really did make them happy. So when you look at that, there's no, like, I guess in my mind, and hit the comments if you disagree, but there's no downside to collecting art. If something makes you happy when you look at it and you get some life satisfaction, some enjoyment out of looking at a piece of art, and then you can also use it as an investment to park some of your money over time, that seems like a really, really big win-win for me. So in my opinion, those are the main reasons why you should definitely collect art, definitely start collecting art, do some research, and just see what you're interested in, see what artists, you know, are on the come up, see what artists really pick and suit your style for your house and just what you like in general, and just start doing some research. If you guys have seen other videos on the channel, you guys know I love Cote Escriva. He's a Spanish artist. I have more than 6 of his pieces, I believe. I can't wait to get one of his paintings. I only have his sculptures right now, so it's just really fun to be able to find different artists and different pieces that you connect with and to get to enjoy them over time, and then eventually, if you ever decide to sell them, potentially see that gain. So next, let's get into this KAWS companion. This is a 2016 classic KAWS companion, not the flayed. We can get into the difference. I don't have a flayed, but let's get into it. Alright guys, so I've already given like a little bit of background about KAWS, so I'm not going to go too much more into kind of him and his kind of previous career. If you guys are interested in that, obviously do some more research on your own, and then also maybe check out one of my previous KAWS videos. But this is a 2016 blush companion by KAWS. So this was actually the first KAWS piece that I got in my collection, and let's see if the camera will focus on the bottom. Per usual, we'll do a whole close-up and macro so you guys get a really close, kind of good view of what the figurine and what the collectible looks like. But basically, this is KAWS's kind of classic character. I got another one in the back. You can see the Tate characters holding like a smaller version of the classic companion, but this is the classic companion. KAWS released them in a variety of colors. This is the like red, the blush color. There's also a gray. There's also a blue, I believe, on certain styles. There's a few different colorways ways that people can collect of these companions. And this one came out in 2016. And right now I'm looking at artsy.net. You can buy them for right around $600. So this is also a really good example in smaller scale, obviously, of how art can accrue in value over time and how you can own a piece, love a piece, and enjoy it, and then still see that investment and see that value continue and increase over time. This is worth about $600 right now, according to Artsy. I'll throw this up on the screen as well. And I think I paid $350 around there for it a couple years ago, around 3 years ago, I guess, 2 years ago when I bought it. So just within a few years, I've seen a little bit of an increase in value in this investment. I have no idea what the value of some KAWS pieces or some of the companion toys might be in the future. Some of his original companion toys from back in the day are worth tens of thousands of dollars. They're super, super sick. They're very rare. Urban Necessities, one of my favorite stores, it's a shop in Vegas. They have some of the classic KAWS work. They actually carry a bunch of KAWS work. But they have some of the most rare, old, large pieces, and also just some of the smallest rare pieces that I've ever seen, just like in a shop. Super, super cool. So they can really get up there in value. And I think some of the original toys back in like 1999, 2000 were only like 20 or 40 bucks. But now, if you still have those and you still maintain them and they're in good condition, they sell for tens of thousands of dollars. So obviously that's a massive return on investment. It takes some foresight, obviously, like people that collect KAWS back in 1999 might not have known that in 2021 he would be one of the world's biggest artists. But that's kind of part of the gamble, just like any other investment. With the stock market, there's a little bit of gamble. With art, there's a little bit of a gamble. But with art, you don't have that other factor of just losing everything completely. Even if KAWS's work didn't surge in value, it's still a piece that if you bought it, you love it, you enjoy it, you get to have it in your house, and that's still a win. So this is just one little episode about KAWS and collecting art. So next we will get into the close-ups, and let's get into it, guys. Alright guys, so real quick before I get into the full macro, I wanted to do just a normal kind of 360 like I've been doing in some of those recent videos. The piece is about a foot tall. You can kind of see the size comparison next to my Mac and next to the other companion right here. But wanted to do a 360 of it so you guys could see what it looks like, and I'll probably cue some music right now.
Had to move through the slime, ayy. Everybody knows my time, ayy. Everybody know the state mine. On your way out, grab a coat or something. Everyone here know that the whole shit done. If you used to drop, watch the ocean come.
So, one of my favorite things also about KAWS work, similar to the bear bricks, as you guys know, if you guys have checked out some of those previous videos, the limbs move. So that KAWS, the limbs move on the arms as well. So just a fun little feature on the KAWS companions. You can kind of move the arms and kind of set them as you want. So next, let's get into the macro. Alright guys, so here is the close-up macro. I didn't actually attach my full macro lens for this just because the piece is so big. But here we go, you can see the face, the classic KAWS. See, I love graffiti and I love street art, and I feel like when street art gets transferred into sculptures and into collectibles and stuff like that, it's really just my favorite. So I absolutely love the companions. And also, in that previous episode, these KAWS companions are obviously what's available, to the general public for the most part. KAWS does make very large installations that have been featured in the Brooklyn Museum and museums across the world. And I actually believe, I think it's Swizz Beatz has, the producer, has a giant KAWS sculpture in his living room. I'll try to pull up a photo of that if I can. But the KAWS companions are really absolutely sick. So as we go down, you can just see it's the classic character. You got the X's on the feet, you have the mittens on the hands, and just like I mentioned in that previous episode, you got the X's on the hands as well. If the camera wants to focus. There we go. So as you go up, this is the companion. And I absolutely love it. So again, hit those comments. What do you guys think? Do you guys have any companions yourself? I'd love to hear what pieces everybody has out there. And actually, real quick before this clip is over, that is the bottom. So you see the Open Edition 16 Metacom Toy China KAWS. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Much love. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode on the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching and checking out some work about KAWS and just checking out the episode. I love art. It's a really big aspect of my life. It's a big aspect of this channel. And again, if you guys haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. I'm tossing that bar in every video. And also hit that like button, every like and all that subscribe stuff. It really does help grow the channel, helps show more people art, helps grow the community. And also, if you guys have any questions or if you guys, have anything you guys want to say about the KAWS piece, I'd love to, again, start a conversation in the comments. That's part of, you know, another big part of this channel is to create a community of people who love talking about art, what they collect, why they collect it. So if you love KAWS's work, please hit those comments. I'd love to hear what you think about this companion, maybe about this companion in the back. So really just let me know, and hope everyone out there has a great day. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Peace.